Good afternoon, gentlemen. Obviously, just finished watching our media products, our music video. I'd like to ask you some questions and get some feedback about what you think we could have improved, what you liked about it. I'm going to ask you from left to right, so young man, you can go first.
Cool.
So the man in the middle, to you. So, what did you think of our music video?
Well, overall,
Yeah.
I think it was like, really captivating, like different shots that you had, the different editing effect, like the black and white really made you like feel what the music video is about.
How did it make you feel?
Yeah, I felt quite moved by it because you saw the different events that happened in his life, like the pillow fights with, what was it, his girl,
His sister.
his sister. And you can see the bond that they have, and you think, like, you try to identify yourself with it, which it really made you think.
What was the question?
What do you think of our music video in general?
I thought that yeah, the several shots that we used were pretty good. Allowed to see the different aspects of his life. The slow motion shots I thought were one of the key elements of it, because I don't know, it kind of creates that cinematic effect where you get to see, I don't know, a flashback of his life or whatever. The props used as well, so like you would purposely get a picture of his mum or his dad or whatever to use, so you can show people, this, that, and the other. So yeah.
What I thought in general was that the editing was quite, fast-paced. Every scene was changing, which kept me engaged. And there was no scene where I was like, oh, this is boring, because every scene was related to something, like his mum on the phone, his sister with the play fight. So it had a good storyline and backstory as well.
Oh, so it was a great narrative and we pulled it off well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Moving on to the next question. Do you believe you could relate to this as young teenagers?
I think that as a young teenager, in some points I could, but in most of it, 50-50, because
Do you think that your ethnicity plays a part in whether you can relate to grime music videos?
I think it actually does, because you wouldn't really expect to see someone like me, watching grime.
What do you mean someone like you?
Of a white background. You wouldn't really expect, me to be watching viewing grime and all of that. But so all in all, I don't think that I could relate to it, but I think that someone else of like, maybe Caribbean background or African American, they could relate more than what I could. But yeah.
Guys?
Was it because I relate to it?
Do you believe you can relate to this?
Yeah. So, the music video looked at the different, I don't know, problems, ups and downs basically of his life. I could relate to it by having known people who have gone through the same kind of thing. Some of it I haven't gone through myself, some of it I have, so it's kind of like, yeah, 50-50. So a relation was made by me actually having experienced one or two aspects, and myself being in contact with people who have gone through it as well. So yeah.
I think that I could personally identify with most of the scenes, like him play fine with his sister and hanging out with his friends, because it kind of like portrays like a stereotypical teenage life, which
Smoking weed.
yeah, that's what I expect. And most of it was good to identify with, and a lot of other audience could as well.
Do you believe that that there's a secondary target audience for our music video? Because personally, our primary target audience was towards young black males in Southeast London and young teenagers. Do you believe that there's a secondary target audience?
I think there's people that watch the video that could relate. I don't know, maybe to his sister as well, rather than the main protagonist, because they could see that they could relate to play fighting with their own brother, and then seeing someone that is the same gender as them, it could keep them captivated, because they would see what she's doing rather than what he's doing. So you could really target more than just the black male people by having different genders in your music video?
I think a secondary audience would be those who aren't young black males. So by looking in on somebody's life, explanation through the music video, by looking in, it gives people that are not young black males an understanding and a perspective of how somebody may be experiencing life. So yeah, that would be one.
There was quite a few social groups there. There was a Portuguese girl, like girls who have like inter-ethnic relationships could identify with that. There's also, of course, the sister, which makes the secondary target audience like women and people who have brothers and they care for.
Do you feel that this conforms to normal grime genre, in the sense that normally grime music videos normally have a bunch of boys behind the block just rapping from the camera? Do you feel that we've done anything different?
Yeah, and also in grime videos you tend to see a lot of flashy cars, half-naked women, and but how do you lot feel like we have subverted the grime genre?
I think you changed it, quite a bit by there was the Mercedes in it, which you probably will see sometimes, but rather than having half-naked woman and all of that, you had the showing of a bond of a brother and sister, which is a lot more different than what you'd normally see, which is quite good because you wouldn't really expect it, so you'd be intrigued in knowing why it's there and what it's about. So I think having a different stereotype to what you usually see in grime was quite good, quite different, and it's quite news to someone because you don't really see it a lot.
Yeah, as opposed to grime scratching the surface of people's problems, I think the music video kind of touched on a lot of sensitive issues that loads of people will be experiencing, like inside of the family home or whatever. So yeah.
The most of the grime videos you see nowadays is just like doing drugs and rapping in front of the camera continuously, but your music videos subverted most of these conventional genres and whatnot, because you had like scenes of him working hard in the studio or him chilling with his friends, which were less like stereotypical conventions.
Okay, yeah, I heard that.
What would you say the target, what would you think the target audience for this song would be on watching it for the first time?
As you said before, I think that the target audience was probably would be a black male audience because they're the ones that show up the most and they're the ones that can probably relate to the most towards the events that happening, like the drugs and the rapping, chilling with friends, doing different stuff. So I think it'd probably be black male, which I think is what you intended to get. So you did a good job if you were related towards the black male.
I think the target audience was actually just young people in general who enjoy grime music, really, because those who listen to it will be able to look at the story that was portrayed in that particular video and be able to relate it to, say, another rapper's kind of story of their lifestyle and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think because the main character really establishes the target audience, which is black males, so I thought that the central figure being a black male really filled in most black males could identify with, and that's the target audience.
And finally, if there were any major improvements we could make to the group, what would you say though?
Major improvements. I don't know, I think it was pretty good overall, but if you were to make an improvement, maybe, even though you did have some scenes with the brother and sister more, maybe if you want to show, the way in which they are close, maybe have a few more scenes with the brother and the sister to show how close their bond is, rather than just, only pillow fighting and whatnot. Maybe have them, going out together more to just really show how close they really were and how much, rather than just being brothers sit down like really close friends they were?
If I could make a major improvement, it would be on top of the topics that were rapped about, so the like family problems and stuff like that. I would have a running theme behind it. I'll have a running theme behind it, so it would probably be a constant going back to him in the studio or whatever, and then flashing off to this part of the family problems and this part, but currently keeping the studio thing at the back. So
I think an improvement would be like the ratio to the sad and happy scenes, because I think overall there's more proportion of happy scenes. It should be like, hey, there's more dynamic scenes of him like throughout the whole thing. Maybe when he's with his sister, maybe a sad scene of him like doing more drugs and stuff, because I think there was a little side on the dark side.
Thank you very much for watching, for being part of our evaluation. We hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day.